Hello everybody and welcome back to Tony Northeastern. This is where we left off in the last video with Mary Poppins flying around the station. I have added one little thing more to the roof, and that's just little tiny white speckles across the top of the ridges where the old pigeons have been. And there as well. Right, so let's do some construction work. Right, here we have a lovely old photograph from the 1950s, and what we're going to be focusing on this week is putting in this ironwork across here along with the pillars and the raw iron that separates the platform from the concourse of the station. Right, we have our railings. This is HO scale railings, which I'm going to use to separate the main concourse from the platform. So I've got to work out the spacings of these four pillars to support the main truss which goes across the top. Just between the buildings, from there to there, works out at 555 millimeters, which is roughly 21 3/4 inches. So it's all of 5's a nice easy number, so that's 111 millimeters apart for each pillar, which incidentally works out to be 3 of these panels, because these panels work out at 108 millimeters, and the thickness of these posts are 5 millimeters. So that's perfect measurement, that. So the next thing to do is to remove the bases here. Just put a slot in so that would fit in neatly up against there. So that's what I'm going to do next before I start painting the pillars. I think I've mentioned these pillars before. You get them with the Pico oval roof, and I seem to have loads of these spare. So what I want to do, because they're square on the top, I've got to pick a flat edge to go with the square, so I'm going to pick that side there. So I've got a file, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to file away a groove into that pillar all the way through till it actually touches the pillar. So I've got a gluing point for the fence, the iron fence. Before I glue this to the post, this panel in the center is a gate. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a sort of latch on there and remove all these little finials, so that would in theory slide through there as you pull the gate back, but the gate is going to stay closed, if that makes sense. I've removed all the finials off the top and all those long bits off the bottom, but I've kept these two, and the reason why I've kept these two is so I can put some wheels on. Now, can you remember a while back when I did the third rail? Well, I've kept the flashing and I've kept these little tiny washers because now I have some wheels. So what I'll do is I'll cut these out and glue them one on this side onto that roller gate. Right, so now I'm just going to put a little bit of glue where the wheels are going to go and glue these on. Right, so now we have some wheels. So in theory you should just be able to pull that along, and that's that job done. So I've just stuck some 1mm by 1mm square polyurethane strip there, top and bottom, same width as a post. And what I'll do then is just put a little bit of this across the two of them, which is 0.25 by 2mm. Yep, that would work. Right, so I think that's all the detail I'm going to add. I mean, we've got a little latch on this side and a drawbar, and then on the back side we've got a little bit of a post there for the gate to close up against, and then we've got the retaining bar there for when the gate starts to slide back. So I think that's enough detail for that. I have the first section in place. I don't know if you can see, but I've had to add a little bit of plastic card there because of the step in the bricks, which is 1mm card. So as you can see, I've just had to add a little bit of plastic card. Don't forget, all this will be painted. So now we have the latch. You pull that up, then you can pull the gate back on its wheels. So here we have an old photograph, and it shows the 4 pillars. There's one there, just barely see it. There's one there, there's one there, and there's the other one. And as you can see, the ticket booth here is very close to the inner edge of that pillar, and as you can look closely, the gate is open. So we'll concentrate on leaving that gate open. This one, the gate is closed, so there must have been a gate between each of the pillars to allow access on and off the platform. And here's that drinks fountain. I haven't done it yet. Maybe if I've got time I'll fit it in on this build. So as you can see, I have placed the ticket booth on the footbridge according to what we've just seen in the photograph. So just push that about there. That should be about there. I think that's correct. So the gate would be here and it would slide back. So that's what we're looking for. I've still got the same centres. The centres should be 111mm between the pillars, and that's virtually spot on there, maybe a millimetre or so more this way. So on the other side, so this side it might just be a case of putting a panel in there, probably one of the bigger panels. So hopefully that would block off that entrance and exit there. I think that would be about right. It looks about right if I just hold that in place. Yep, I'll do that. And that's what it looks like from the concourse view. As you can see the 3 pillars. 1, 2, 3. Because the 4th pillar is right in line with the lens, you won't be able to see that, but that looks more or less what it looks like in the photograph. Right, so I've got my 2 panels there, and this one's going to be the gate. So what I'm going to do is cut off that post, because we don't need that. Cut off all the top railings, and cut off all the bottom railings except these two here. And as I've been doing all along, is just filing those edges off where I've just cut top and bottom. Right, so we have an edge here which we'll have to put an iron rod in, and these two here are going to be to support the wheels, so we'll do that first. So what I'll do is I'll score the back one ever so slightly so we can bend it to meet the other one. Like so, and just cut a little bit off the bottom of that. And remember these spaces earlier on in the video, so we'll use some of these and we'll glue them on for wheels. Like so. So the next thing to do is to put a little handle on. So that's all the little details put on for the back of the sliding gate, like the sliding rail there and the backstop. So there's only one thing left to do, and that's to fit a plate on this post here so it could be fixed to the ground. So I've cut a little bit of 1mm plastic sheet there, and I'm just taking the corners off, and then we can then glue it straight onto the post. Now I've already cut about 1mm off the post to allow for this. Right, there we go. Let's go and have a look, see what it looks like on the platform. So yeah, I've placed the gate onto the platform along with all the other railings, and that is all the ironwork finished. Regarding the railings, there's still the upper beam to put on, which I'll do in the moment after we find out what's going on here. Don't worry sir, your train is on time. Can I have your tickets please? Right, now that the train's gone, we can continue with what I was doing. The next job I was going to do, I've already done it to one post, or shall I say one column, is add these train announcement speakers. So I've done it to that one. I'm going to do exactly the same to this one. Just the two outside ones, that one and that one. And once that's done, I can paint the fences and the columns. So as you can see, I've just sat the railings and the columns on the platform for the moment, just to give you a overall view of the ironwork and how it's going to work out. So the next thing to do is to put the iron girder on this ledge here, right away across all of those columns to the other side of the station there, which will support the canopy. But before we do that, there's just one piece of ironwork to do, and that is to put a iron fence across here to stop the freeloaders jumping on the trains for free rides. Anyway, that's why I think it was put there. But in the photographs there is iron railings around these steps here. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm just going to put some more iron railings in. Right, so that didn't take long. What I had to do is just cut these out the bottom, and the fence just sat on nice and neat there, so I just super glued it there and used the normal polyurethane cement there, but I had to back the bus into the wall there just to stop that wall from moving, to get me an idea of what the width was across there. That's the thing about this building at the end here, it does move, it does flex a little bit. But hopefully once it's all tied in with the other end up there, it should stop springing out. So now we're going to concentrate on the girder. As you can see, there's quite a few crisscrosses in that girder. Something which I'm going to try and replicate, but let's have a look. So these are the girders I have bought. As you can see, there's not enough crisscrosses, so I will put a few more in, but first thing I've got to do is square up the ends, because I've already trimmed this end, and the reason why I want to square up the ends is because with this other strip I can make a plate like so and glue it on the end. So as you can see, I've glued the end plate on, and I've just checked to see if it's square, and it's reasonably square. So what I will do is I'll probably make some triangular gussets and glue them in there as well, just to give them a little bit extra strength. So regarding the extra trusses, what I might just do instead is for every one of these right angles I'll put a downward brace in all the way along on both sides, because I've got plenty of this polystyrene strip left. So if I do that, I should really strengthen this girder strip up. So if I put one of those in, every triangular, because I've got to try and bend this with out snapping. I've tried bending it already and it's snapped in one place, so I've got to be really careful with this. So as you can see, we've moved on a little bit, placing these little bits of strips of plastic card every 25mm apart in the center of the V there. And here where it sits on the column, I have added an extra piece of 1mm by 1mm thick strip in there, just so it looks like that this steelwork here is adjoined to this steelwork here, so it looks like it's been put up in sections, only where it comes underneath a column. Right, I have now finished the girder beam. As you can see, I've added another 5mm strip on the edge here just to give it extra width, so it can support both the canopy roof and the main oval roof when I come to do that. And also what I've done is I've added some webs down the inside to take the actual plastic card, so it gives it a bit of strength as well. So that's now waiting for painting, so I can paint it and then we can sit it on top of the columns like so. Right, so as you can see, the beam has now been painted and it's just waiting for something to come along to lift it into position, because obviously I can't lift it, it's just too heavy, so we'll just have to see what comes along to lift it in position. what about me? Hey, what about me? Well, that's all from me this week. Bye, everybody. Bye. Could have waited for me.